we're doing it. Look at us. We're doing it. And all we had to do was get our flippin' phone and turn it into a camera. Who would have thought? Okay. So this was a video that I've been planning to do for a while, as in a couple of months. And I was looking forward to filming it, and now I'm filming it and I'm thinking, what am I doing with my life? So I just want to start off with a few disclaimers. Number one, of all the people that I talk about in this video, I have such a deep amount of respect and love and gratitude towards them. It may not sound like it when I start talking about this story, but you know what? I am drinking a glass of mimosa at 9:30 at night on a Saturday, and I am just going to be a little bit petty when I talk about this. Because, I mean, let's be real. There's always a little small part of us that is a bit of a sore loser, right? Right? And I am just deciding to have big balls and make it into a YouTube video. What? I know that I'm not the first person to have gone through this. I am one of thousands of people that have dealt with this. And I thought, well, I don't think I've ever really heard people talk about it and what it's like on the mental side of things. So I thought, why not talk about it? Anything else I need to disclose? I think that's really it. I also understand why I'm here and how I got here, and I totally respect the people's decision. And and I knew this was going to happen for years. But there's a difference, which I think is something that is like weirdly talked about quite a bit, about how like you know about something going in and then it happens and you're like, oh, my brain hurts and my heart hurts and my body just wants to stay in bed for 45 days. So let's just get into it. Today, when I post this video, is going to be November 13th, 2023, and I thought I would be opening my first Broadway show today, many years ago. So, the musical I'm talking about is Harmony. Barry Manilow wrote the music, Bruce Sussman wrote the book. Warren Carlyle is directing it. Chip Zion, I don't know how to say his last name, my apologies, and Sierra Boggess are in it. And I believe about 13 people are making their Broadway debuts with this production, which is amazing. I thought I was going to be one of them, and I am not. And I thought I'd share my story about it. So almost, Lord, where do I even begin? So, 2019, I get a call from my agents saying that I had an appointment to be seen for a musical reading of the production of Harmony, and it was being directed by Warren Carlyle, and all the other info that I gave you, with the exception of Chip. Chip did not come in until much later into the process, and they were looking for someone to be in the ensemble and also be the featured character of Marlene Dietrich. Now, Harmony is about this boy band. That's all I want to say. I just want to say it's a boy band. It was basically like it kind of was, honestly, was like the genesis of NSYNC and Backstreet Boys. Let's be real. It was about this singing group of 6 men in Germany in the early 1930s. And when the Third Reich rose to power, which if y'all didn't know what that is, it means Hitler rose to power. They basically got banned to make any more music with each other. And all of their works, all of their music, all of their movies were destroyed, almost destroyed. Thankfully, some have been saved, and this is all due to the fact that half of the men who are in it were Jews. So it's a story that kind of got hidden, and people have been able to like dig it up. I can't really remember the details. I'm sure they have more details about it on the website about the musical production, but Barry Manilow and Bruce Sussman has been working on this production for 30 years now, and they have been trying to get it to Broadway. And when I got the call back in 2019 to do the reading, the plan was they were going to do a off-Broadway production of it in the spring of 2020, and then they were hoping for it to shift to a Broadway transfer very soon after that. So that was kind of the plan. I went in, and that was the first time that I ever met Warren. Very sweet, very kind. I did a song for my book. I did a piece of the music, and then I did some sides, and I was then called back, which I thought was my final callback. It was at like 10:30 at night at Pearl Studios. Barry Manilow was right in the middle of the room at the creative table. And before I went in, I was listening to someone do their material in the room, and I'm like, wow, they're a really good singer. And they come out, and it's Sierra fucking Boggess. And I'm like, oh, I literally said, oh my God, you're Sierra Boggess. Oh man, I never told her this story. And I kind of flipped out. I was like, sorry, you're just like my idol, and this is insane. And she's like, oh, are you going in for this? I was like, yeah, I'm going in next. She was like, awesome, break a leg, hope it goes well. And, you know, everyone is just like being super prim and proper. And the moment when the elevator door closes and she goes down to the lobby, we're all like, what the fuck? It was insane. Oh my gosh, I absolutely loved it. So yeah, I go in. Barry Manilow is a very sweet person. And I thought that was it, because I never heard anything. And then all of a sudden I got another call from my agent saying that I was having another callback for this. And I guess they weren't finding the people that they wanted. And I was like, well, what are they looking for? And because I don't really know what else they wanted, because like I was doing my research on Marlene Dietrich. I was doing like all the stuff that I felt like I could do. And apparently they were really emphasizing that they wanted someone to come in like knowing Marlene to a T. So I go in. Right before then, I saw someone who I knew of for a while, but I never ran into her until that day. And I immediately thought, oh, okay, she's going to get it. And yeah, then I went in and did my thing, and Warren seemed to really like it. And then cut to, I ended up getting an offer to be a part of the Harmony reading in 2019 in October. Being in the ensemble and playing Marlene Dietrich. So that was pretty cool. The people that I met during that time were really, it was just like, I don't know, it was just like an experience I never experienced before. I never have been a part of an industry reading like that in such a high caliber. I've done readings before where it's done in a very small theater with just a piano and someone's reading the stage directions and everything. But this one, they practically kind of like treat it as like a staged concert. And it was really cool. And my mother and my grandmother were able to see it, which I'm very lucky about, because it's now basically the last performance either of them will ever see of me do again based on their health. I mean, maybe not for Ayla, but definitely for my mom, which is a bummer. And very shortly after that, I got the call giving me an offer to do the same track that I did for the off-Broadway production that was going to be done at the Yiddish Theater, Volksbein. I'm sorry for mispronouncing. And I would also be understudying the role of Mary, which Sierra was playing. And I was like, this is going to change my life forever. This is going to change everything for me. Literally everything. My hair is going insane. I apologize. Oh boy. And then all of a sudden in December of 2019, basically like a month and a half after we did our reading, I got an email from Frankie saying, hey, the off-Broadway production isn't going through, it's canceled. No explanation. No reasoning behind it. And so I was like, okay, well, fuck. And I reached out to, well, no, I didn't reach out. Warren ended up calling everyone and basically informed everybody that he had a serious case of appendicitis, which I completely sympathized with because I had a very similar case of appendicitis that he dealt with. Basically, it was undiagnosed and it got to the point where it was really bad and he had to be hospitalized for a minute. And I had a similar experience with that when I was 15, when I had appendicitis, and so I completely understood. And then around January, February, we got word that they were planning to move it to the following season at the Yiddish Theater. So it would have happened in the fall of 2020. Now, I'm sure y'all can put two and two together of what happened. And so, life goes on, and then all of a sudden, I think it was probably the spring. Yeah, it would have been the spring. It was the spring of 2021. At this point, I was on offer for Titanic at the Milwaukee Repertory Theater to do in the spring of 2022. And at the moment I said yes, but I was like still wanting to be a part of this show. So I didn't really know what I was going to do. Well, the universe knew what was going to happen and they fixed that problem for me. Warren called me in the summer of 2021, which was already a shitty time for me. It was a very low moment. I don't think I'll ever speak about it publicly until certain people are dead, but it was summer 2021. I was in my bed napping with the cats and I get a phone call and it's from Warren. And so I pick it up and he basically said, I'm giving you a call because we're about to send out breakdowns for the off-Broadway production because we're planning to do it in the spring of 2022. And I'm immediately thinking, okay, I really hope that doesn't conflict with Titanic because I really want to do both. And he told me that since the pandemic and since we had to cancel the off-Broadway contract until now, he has been working on the book with Bruce and Barry, and they were doing a lot of changes in the book, and they decided to make the main character, the rabbi, they decided to split that character in half, where one of them is the younger rabbi and the present time rabbi is, an older man. And so they decided that when it came to these additional characters that they run into, i.e. Albert Einstein was one of the characters that came in, another famous German scientist of some sort came in, I don't remember, and Marlena. They decided that all of those characters that they meet very quickly are going to be played by the older rabbi. So therefore, my track basically was cut and I was no longer needed. Warren was he was not enjoying the fact of telling me this news, but I completely understood. This is kind of like what you sign up for when you do a new work. Basically, whenever you sign up for something, there's always a chance that, you know, you either won't go through with the project or your track will just completely get scrapped and taken out. Looking back, there was a part of me that kind of wished that I spoke up and was like, well, I still want to understudy Sierra. Can I be in the ensemble? But knowing Warren, like, and what he wanted to do, I think he wanted someone with a bit of a stronger dance background for his ensemble members, which is understandable. And so so at that point, I was kind of like, that was it. And so I was mentally prepared for the off-Broadway production. And then over the summer, I think it was over the summer, it was either late spring or over the summer this year that they announced that it was going to be transferred to Broadway. And that was really hard for me because I still follow people on social media that are part of the project, and all of a sudden my social media feed when I opened up Instagram was just flooded with this announcement, and that was really painful for me because it sucked. Yeah, and ironically enough, when I started class for grad school, the first day of orientation happened to be the first day of rehearsals for this Broadway production. It's been weird ever since. I'm not gonna lie. I'm very grateful with the decision that I decided to go back to grad school. I still completely understand and respect the creative's decision to ex-nay my part. I don't think Marlena is in the show at all anymore, based on what I saw from the cast recording of it. But that was kind of like the first time when I basically encountered something really big and really life-changing for me in my career as a performer, and having it be taken away from me. And you know, I kind of went through like the basic stages of grief. Telling my parents really sucked. But at the same time, it's like, it's really weird. Their way of like of coping with this is like them saying, well, this is what you signed up for. Kind of like alleviating the pain in their eyes. Because it's true. I did sign up for this sort of career where my line of work is never going to be consistent and it's never going to be stable. And so, and I know that I'm not the only one that is not part of this. Like, only 4 people from that reading in 2019 are a part of the Broadway production today. There are certain people that I'm very surprised are not a part of this production. I don't really know what happened behind the scenes. I don't know what led to those decisions, but I respect them and fully send all my love and support to everyone that's a part of this production right now on Broadway. But it's definitely an experience of like watching people go through this sort of experience and being, you know, trying to be as supportive as you can, and then you yourself is experiencing it. It sucks. It really sucks. Fuck. And it's like, I'm trying so hard not to be like, poor me, my life is so hard, because there are so many other people that have been through these sort of situations, including people that had very long careers. I mean, Barbara Cook is the first person that I think of in my head of someone that has gotten rejected for so many things. Madeline Kahn got rejected for so many things. Rue McClanahan got rejected for so many things. B. Arthur got rejected for so many things, but they still had a very successful, strong, long career. I think it's hard for me because I was being told by the people that I thought were working with me, I kind of felt like I was working for them, looking back, but I was kept being told that I was too green, too tall, and too young. And in the summer of 2019, I also got word that someone was basically about to play their dream role in a national tour, and she was 23 and 5'11". Now, granted, she's talented as all get out, talented as fuck. But it led me to, I was on the train to Vermont, and my dad picked me up in his white pickup truck, and I just started bawling because I was like, I don't know what else to do. And when I got Harmony, I kind of got like that motivation of wanting to like really go for this stuff and really like, I just found my drive again. And then, the pandemic hit, and then I got word I wasn't going to get this, and doing 2 productions of Titanic was very taxing. So I kind of found myself being like, is this really what I want to do? And in a way, even though I'm having my pity party and I'm going to cry if I want to, and I'm treating myself to a Prosecco mimosa at 9:30. I'm looking at my watch that's not here. Taking my time to complain about this, to kind of like wrap it up by saying, I honestly think this was probably the best thing that ever happened to me. Mainly because my mental health has just been through the ringer. I know I talk about this like nobody's business, but I'm going to keep talking about it like nobody's business because I'm trying to help normalize the conversation around it. Because I'm still dealing with, especially even at school, I'm still dealing with the backlash of it. And I'm still feeling very uncomfortable talking about my mental abilities. So where was I going with this? I'm starting to rant and I'm starting to feel a little bit self-conscious, but that's okay. I'm pretty sure that if this all went as planned and that I did do the off-Broadway gig and I was going to make my Broadway debut in this production, I don't know if I would have been able to get through it mentally. I mean, granted, it's a completely different play compared to doing Titanic twice. But I think I would have been put in a situation where my mental capacity wasn't going to be able to handle it. And, it probably would have put me in a dangerous situation. It probably would have led to me, like, maybe burning bridges with people. And I don't want that to happen due to a depressive episode. And I think I probably would have been miserable. Not to say that I would have been miserable with the production or the people that I was going to work with. I think anyone and everyone who has been a part of this production are magical, beautiful human beings. I just think with what I've been dealing with personally and within my family, and yeah, it's, I just don't think it would have been a good time for me to be a part of it. So, with all that to say, if you are in town and if you are at all interested and have the opportunity to go and see Harmony the Musical, I highly encourage it. It is a very beautiful story about a very beautiful group of people and a very beautiful message of hope. And I think I think it's a story that really pertains to today in the world of Jews and the world of anti-Semitism and how much it's been on the rise lately. And, like, Bruce Sussman and Barry Manilow has been working on this for 30 years. And they've been trying to get it to Broadway for 30 years. And the fact that it's finally here, might as well celebrate that in itself. You'll also be learning a story that was trying to be hidden by the Third Reich. Warren Carlyle has a phenomenal concept of it. You get to see Sierra Boggess. She's fucking bomb. Sean Bell, who I've known of him because I've seen it at Northern Stage quite a bit. He's making his Broadway debut in this as one of the harmonists. And you know, you get to see Chip Zion, I feel like it's Zion. You get to see him perform, and I mean, it's the OG Baker. How would you not? Oh my god, okay, I did it, I talked about it. Why am I sweating? Oh Lord. Yeah, that's kind of all I really have for this. This was a lot easier than I thought it was going to be. I thought I was going to be crying and not getting through it, but the more that I think about it and the more that I talk about it, the more grateful that I am that it didn't work out. And I'm very grateful with where I am right now, especially when it comes to getting my master's, because I have been wanting to get my master's, and I felt like if I was going to keep pushing it off, it was never going to happen. So in a way, I kind of felt like the universe was like, we got to choose one or the other. And I think the universe was like, I feel like the one choice that's going to lead to a more sustainable life that I need is getting my master's right now. Because Broadway, as much as I hope that Harmony will have a long, successful run, we never really know. I really hope they get through the winter season, because the winter season can like destroy a musical opening around this time. So again, if you're able to go and see the show, I highly recommend it. Please go and support these fabulous people. And this is just a gentle reminder that sometimes shit doesn't go your way, but in bizarre circumstances, it actually is probably the best thing to happen to you. I think I'm going to leave it at that. Thank you so much for stopping by to listen to me talk about this. I have no ill will or no crankiness or pessimistic thoughts towards the people who are a part of this. Where was I going to go with that? Yeah, I mean, it's the nature of the business. And this is what I signed up for, and this was going to happen to me at some point. I'm also not the only one from the 2019 reading that didn't get this. I'm also someone that is, I mean, it could have even been worse. Like, I know people who did the off-Broadway production and did not get a Broadway offer, which kind of shook me, to be honest, for certain people anyways. So it could have been that sort of situation, and it could have hurt a lot more. So I am very grateful that Warren kind of gave me the heads up about this 2 years ago, so I was able to like really prepare myself. And, you know, I thought I was going to be okay when this announcement came, but it still hurt. But I'm really happy with where I am right now and where I'm kind of leading things in my career at the moment. To a way that I think will be much more sustainable and healthy for me moving forward. So, and I'm really excited to continue to share that journey with y'all. I'm going to leave it at that. I'm going to make myself catch up on Drag Race UK and finish my drink. May you be happy, may you be healthy, may you be safe and at ease and free from harm. And I'll see you soon, I hope. It's Thanksgiving next week. I'm excited. I'll probably make a video about Vermont. But anyways, love you all. Be safe, be happy. I'll see you soon.